Okay, so this is part 2 of me doing Ricky Gervais here and optimizing this down to as little, to be as optimized as possible, using as little polygons as possible, or triangles rather, and as little materials as possible. And in the first part I got rid of the 4 materials and the eyes, and I replaced that with this one here, which is our texture atlas, shall we say, our atlas for the entire character, which contains all of the elements that previously had been divided up into extremely high detail separate materials. It's now all on this, right? So just a couple of things that I didn't actually mention that, again, it's like I'm uncertain as to whether I'm stating the obvious or giving you new valuable information, but here we go, right? This texture atlas, here it's got this number 11. That is telling you this is being used by 11 objects in total, so 10 other ones including this one that we have selected here, which is valuable information, right? But how can you use that? So if you select this object and then you click, then you press Shift L, select linked. Now you want to select the linked by material. Bam. Now you've got, so long as they're all unhidden and in the viewport here, you have selected all of the other things that use this, which is great. Now that's great, but it's not, it doesn't do it all for you, because remember on this one it's using 2 materials, so we don't need to worry about these. But if we do this again, Shift L, select linked by material, and we press tab, we can go into edit mode on all of these to view, press A as well, sorry, and then that selects all triangles. And now, so if we go into, say, if I open up a UV window and we look in here, where is it? There. You can see, let me get rid of this horrible little gizmo. Shift space, bring up this little menu. I just like the cursor on there. We can see everything that shares that, but we can also see, as I was talking about before, these ones that are on the team colours that don't need UVs, I've stashed them up here out the way, so I know now, yeah, I've selected everything, but I'm also selecting these things on this material which we don't need. Not super important, but you know, worth noting. Now, the mistake I made in the last video was I started to paint his neck here, and I was kind of consciously aware of it whilst I was doing it, but I thought, yeah, that's probably fine. And it was, right, I started painting over the thing here on his neck, but as you can see from, right, click this again, select all the link things, then go into here, go. Now if we look here, that's control space to minimise this window to the max so you can see it. We can see, if I turn on live mode, oh no, I need that on, but I just want to select this whole island, so I grab this and press L, because I know this is the front of the neck, right, and the back, one side of the neck is here, kind of awkward, and the other part's over here, and it's sitting on top of like the arm. So I started painting away. Let me turn Shift Alt Z, turn off the overlays. So I started painting here, and I'm painting over the arm as well, and I started to paint onto the shoe. Now this is all like that buffer area, like I was pointing out down here, that the computer makes. This is not actually displayed. This is just buffer area, and thank God it exists, because I, like the dummy that I am, started painting here. Yeah, so what I need to do before painting this neck area is fix these UVs, and we've still got plenty of room on the texture map. I believe on the other character I put the neck area there, and so I can just really quickly show you that now. So this is not hard to do at all, and I mean, yeah, what's funny as well is this is using his arm texture on his neck. But I mean, I didn't know that, and it looks fine. The arm doesn't look messed up, I don't think. Right? It looks great. You can't tell, but so we could just leave it, and it's fine. But No. And now I'm thinking why, but no, because this is like extra. I mean, you don't need to do this, but I would, because I don't like these parts overlapping. This, like, if his head tilts forward, you're going to see the back of his neck. This stuff's going to show where it's getting mapped to the inside of his mouth and his tongue. That's just ugly. So, I mean, for me, right, if it was one of my characters, I would do this, because, and this is all you do, we've got this object, put a seam here on the back, we alt click on here, control E, mark a seam, then go into face mode with 3, and then on the mouse over here, L, select linked. We want to make sure this is on normal. By default it's on seam, you don't want that, because then it'll like if we had a seam running down there and a seam there, and I put the mouse there and I click L, it would only do up to the seams, which we want the normal connection, so everything within this object that's connected to this via topology or triangles. So we've got all that, and we've marked the seam there, and we press U, unwrap, and it gives us this nice slash horrible little shape, which is his neck, and we slap this here in this unused area, and now it looks really pink because that's what it is. So now I would just and paint it, which I'm not going to show you because it's like I showed you before. It's just a case of going around here, Shift X, because you can do that in either window. On a texture paint mode, you can do it in this image or over here, and you just paint. And I thought I'd have to fix up here where I've messed this up, but as you can see from the actual shoes themselves, if we Shift H, you can just see this one, and we select all, you can see, yeah, the UV thing just goes up to the edge here. This is all buffer area, like I said, it's all fine, never even seen, but when you zoom out, like I said, it will become a problem later if you don't leave a buffer area, and the problem is more apparent on areas like this, where you're changing from white to a very dark colour, say. Then when you zoom out, the mip mapping kind of blurs, or like it averages the area, so this will become lower and lower resolution the further you get away, and then the black and white area will become a grey band, and it will become discoloured, and you'll start to see glitches and stuff. Again, not tangent, not a problem here. And I think that's all I needed to say was fix this and whatever else I covered. I think I covered the relevance, so I'm going to stop now before I go on for an hour. But there you go. Cheers.